Alright, it's been a minute. We've been tinkering away for the last 2 or 3 weeks and just had no motivation to record, to be honest. I low-key hate recording, but anyway, I'll show you a little bit of what's been going down. JZX's car's been sitting up in the air for no reason for like 3 weeks now. But yeah, what the hell's going on here? So I've got a half sanded car. There's no turning back now. I've just started sanding it because I really want to paint this thing. Oops. So yeah, I've just been going over it, trying to, I haven't done that much really, but yeah, just trying to get it all smooth and get all the rough spots off. And I've been trialing colours. Now, this is the colour I thought I was going to do. I really want to do something different that like not really anyone else has. I just hate being mainstream. Spent quite a bit of money on testing colours so far and I'm still not satisfied. So this is what I was going to do. It's like a beige. You can't really see it on camera properly. It's different in person. Well, it looks terrible on camera. But yeah, anyway, painted a few guards and stuff and decided, I don't know, it's just not quite popping. I saw it on a Rocket Bunny 180 and it looked sick, but it's interesting because like some colors on say Sylvia's or something do not suit like a JZX, which is kind of tricky. I don't really know why. Is it more because like a Sylvia is like a, I don't know, sports, you just know it's like a drift car, and this is almost just like a normal family car in a way. I don't know, but yeah, this is another color I tested and what the hell, the camera's, it looks shit on camera, but yeah, anyway, I didn't like that either. Looks like I just took a dump. Josh is also testing colours too because he's going to do his. Ideally we want to do all ours the same colour, but besides that, I think I've decided a colour, which I'm not going to say yet because it may change, but you'll probably see it once the car's all finished. So yeah, I'm not really going to show much until it's all done. Other than that, I've got my diff here. Now, I was talking about changing my diff. I changed my 3.7 to a 3.9 just to see the difference, and it did make quite a bit of difference. That wasn't my two-way center. So now I've pulled apart my diff. This is the original 3.7 with my two-way center. 3.7 ring gear and pinion, which is no good. And here I have a Hilux diff. Now this is a 4.1. So I think the 4.1 is going to be on the money for this car. It's not going to lose too much wheel speed. It's just going to be heaps more responsive, which is exactly what I need. Yeah, I managed to score this Hilux diff thanks to James Clark at Clark Motorsport. Go give him a follow. Had it sitting in the shed because so many people use these Toyota diffs, especially Hilux diffs and stuff. He uses them in his stock car. Yeah, it's fortunate for people in New Zealand and Australia because you just pick these things up anywhere. They're just chilling on people's back lawns. And for the people in America and stuff, they probably don't even know what a Hilux is. But yeah, so interestingly enough, these internals of the Hilux diff should all fit in this diff. Now, the only concern I have is I have never tried this. I've never tried interchanging them, but I think it's going to work. The only concern I have is this is from a solid axle and this is independent. Now I'm not sure if the pinion from this one is the same length as this one here, so we'll soon find out. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool that these diffs fit in here. Well, you'll soon see if it does or not, but I'm fairly certain it's going to. Most Toyota diffs after like the 90s are all the same internals, the 8-inch ring gear. And yeah, so whether it's Hilux, Hi-Ace, they're all the same. So what I'm going to do is pull this apart. I'm going to put this ring gear on my two-way center. Pull all the 4.1 stuff in here. Just need to do the preload and the backlash and everything. I'm not going to be changing all the bearings because this diff was rebuilt in Japan whilst I was over there, so all the bearings and stuff should be fine, and I just don't think it's necessary and I can't be bothered doing it. Same with all the seals, they all look sweet, so and if something does go wrong, it's easy to replace. It's no biggie. Like, these are easy to pull apart, so whatever. So yeah, once it's all together, I'll put some paint on the ring gear, check out all the backlash and stuff, and if she's good, then you're good to go. Pop it in. Anyway, this is already apart. I'm just going to pull apart this one now and steal all the stuff off this. But I'm not sure how far I'm going to get, because I'm probably going to have to take it to work and press the pinion out of this diff, which I had to do with this one. It didn't just fall out. So yeah, that's kind of why I haven't been recording much, because I've only been coming here after work and only here for like half an hour. And then yeah, I just don't really think it's worth recording. I just can't be bothered for the short time I'm here. Should probably get a light on this situation, because it seems to be real dark over this corner, wherever it is. By the way, I'm fully winging this painting. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just trying to figure it out as I go. Same with all the prep work. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what it turns out like, but I am trying to do it properly. I probably won't show too much of doing this. Yeah, I'm just going to slam it together and see how we go. I don't think it's that interesting, but if people do want to see it, JZX's got to do his diff as well, so we might do a full tutorial as such on that instead. Yeah, so I've got to take these locking tabs off. On solid diffs, this is how you adjust it here, and on this one here, it's just got shims there on the side. So yeah, gonna pull this apart quickly. Oh shit. Oh. Neighbours are not going to be happy with the power tools. Pop those off. Usually they got numbers or dots on them. I don't know if you can see it there, 2 dots there, which means that goes up there, and 1 dot on that one for that side. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Well, that was easy compared to the last one. Just got to take the ring gear off this one now, the Hilux diff. This one's actually got like locking tabs on it, which is a pretty good idea. You know it's never going to come loose, as this one didn't. Although you use Loctite anyway, but good reassurance anyway. Actually, before I get too carried away, I might actually take this pinion out and see if it's the same and going to fit this. Otherwise, the whole process is going to be pointless. Puller would be ideal, but I don't have one. I think I'm going to have to press this out at work, which is going to be a setback for now. Oh, can't do it one-handed. There we go. 8 inch. Oh, I forgot to show you. Josh's turbo's off. He's got shit going on again. When he's here next, I'll ask him how his road to Matsuri went. I've only been here 15 minutes or so, and we have setbacks already, as expected, so I'll be back tomorrow. Alright, it's the next day I'm back. I had to press the pinion out of the diff, so I couldn't continue. But we're here, an old half pie vlog. Josh is here. Yeah. What are you doing now?
So, what I was doing was, you know, quick turbo gasket blew out the dyno, so I lost a bit of power out of that. So I thought, oh well, I'll just replace my turbo gasket with one we've got here. And basically the exhaust was full of oil, and I was like, oh, I've got a fucked motor. Whatever. Pulled the plugs out, they're all dry. So the motor's not burning the oil or pushing the oil out, so thought the next thing, the turbo's buggered. And I rang up Steve Murch, and he actually was really helpful and suggested that possibly the oil was unable to return through the drain line from the turbo back into the crankcase because there's too much blow-by or crankcase pressure, which makes sense. So the oil's got nowhere to go, so obviously it's just going to go straight up the arse end of the turbo, which is what it's done. So my turbo's probably fine. So what I'm going to do to try and help combat that is I'm going to add a rear head drain on the back of the motor, so it won't be acting as a head drain as such. It'll be more of a crankcase breather. It's a bit backwards, but it's sort of a band-aid fix until I can sort it out properly. so that way the drain can actually drain, and there'll be less crankcase pressure. And I've also fixed this drain line and put a 90 on it. It was all bent before.
Oof.
With that fitting there, so it was all crushed and restrictive, so that wouldn't have been helping the situation. But this motor's just got a lot of blow by, so it needs to be rebuilt properly. But I just want to get a couple track days out of it.
So, man went all the way to Matsuri by himself, by the way. Me and Gazza couldn't make it, and went all that way and couldn't even drive because, as you saw, his release bearing problems.
Still not fixed.
So still got to fix that as well. It continues, one step forward, two steps back for this thing.
I've got to pull this motor out, put the head drain in, add the return into the sump, fix the release bearing, all before next weekend, because I've actually entered this into Drift Antics, which is next weekend. So I've got a bit of mahi to do, to be fair, but I mean, it's all part of it really.
I reckon do the release bearing on the deck, so it's easier.
When the motor's out?
Yeah, fuck, it'd be
straight
so
in.
much easier.
Why?
Just so you actually have it there and it's just like...
How's it go? Yeah, so these two entered into Drift Antics next weekend. I'm not, because I forgot to mention, I've quit events. These guys think it was a hell of a laugh, but I've quit events until my car's done, because otherwise it's never going to get done. I'm sick of it being half pie, and I seem to just save up, waste all my money at an event, and then can't do anything on my car. So that's that. And also next weekend the Evo should be here. Well, it will be here, but it's just a matter of if it's all complied. And I'm going to be going up to Auckland, and then what I might try to do is go pick the Evo up and then go back down to Taupo, and then I'll meet these guys at Drift Antics.
After he picks up my LB30.
And then I'm going to take the front axles out of the Evo and take it on the track. Oh shit.
Yeah, redemption for no helis at Ipswich.
Oh yeah. I couldn't do the, I forgot to mention that, I couldn't do the helis, the donuts and the Evo at Ebisu, because the only time I could, it was Matsuri, and I wasn't going to pay $200 for a Matsuri entry just to do a few donuts in the Evo. So yeah, but anyway, back here, and I should be pretty much ready to go with putting this diff back together. So I've pressed this pinion out of the Hilux diff. So what I'm going to do is reuse this crush sleeve. It is recommended to replace all the bearings and everything, but it's not necessary. I don't want to be wasting money on buying a whole new rebuild kit. So all going well, I should get away with just putting it together, check everything over, the backlash and the preload and everything, and I'm hoping I don't have to get any new shims either, because that's going to be a hassle. But generally, whatever center, if you're putting the same center in that came out of the same housing with the same bearings, everything is usually sweet. So I'm hoping that's the case. So I'm just about to put this new pinion in this housing, and if you didn't actually know, it's got two bearings. That's why you need to do the preload on them to squeeze them in and preload the bearings onto this crush sleeve here. Oh, I need that sleeve. So I'm going to use the sleeve that came out of this, because that is matched to suit this center, so theoretically it should all work without having to adjust anything, hopefully anyway. So just put that, take that one off, put that one on there, pop it in, and then put the other bearing on, tighten it up, and then check the preload. So basically why you have to do that is because you can't have this pinion moving, because that's gonna stuff shit. That's gonna wear out the ring gear. But you don't want to do it up too tight, because that's gonna stuff the bearings. So you have to get it quite perfect.
Good medium.
That's it. Now time to put this Hilux ring gear on the two-way center. Turn it that way. Pop that in. Bolts, Loctite. So just tighten them up in the crisscross pattern. Now gonna just torque it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna hold that.
Maybe we have to put in a vice thing. Just torquing them all down in a crisscross pattern, and she's good to go. Yep, they're heaps good. See, I already torqued it with the rattle gun, and don't even need the torque wrench. I could tell by the ooga-doogas that it was perfect spec. So now that the preload's all done on the pinion, just lubricated here, so I can put the center and ring gear in. Just need to put the bearing races on first, and then the shims in last. They will be tight. You have to kind of softly hit them in, because same thing again, there needs to be preload on the side bearings as well. Otherwise, if this is moving, it's going to also cause damage. So got it in there, got one shim in. Now I just need to slide this next one in, and it will be pretty tight, so I may need to give it a bit of a tap with a soft hammer. It's going in alright. Yeah, bit of a tap, and then caps on. Nearly there. Those are in, caps all torqued up. Now I've just got this bearing blue here, and I'm going to put it on the teeth and check the pattern just to make sure she's all sweet. But just by feel, backlash feels pretty good. So yeah, I'll just have to recheck the preload again since all the center's in. But I'll probably have to finish that off at work tomorrow once I've got the right tools, because I don't have everything here. But it's together now anyway, so all going well. It should be sweet. Meanwhile over here, Josh is mid-engine pull. Where are we going?
I just need to go up and out a little bit. Just catching.
Oh, nice handle.
Yeah, thanks. Just watching out the stuff that's getting ripped out as we go. Our housing's kind of catching.
Pretty easily done. It's only been, what, half an hour? And good thing it can just slide straight out here. No radiator support. There you have it, she's out. Easy as.
Bit of a mess.
No problem. So tomorrow I'm gonna take it to my work and put a DTI on it just to check she's all good, but judging by that, it's looking not too bad. So yeah, I don't have a DTI here, so I can't exactly do it all properly right now, but it's looking good anyway. So I didn't really explain why I went with a Hilux diff instead of just buying a 4.1 JZX diff and just put my center straight in. Reason being because the Hilux diff is like half the price and they're easier to get in that ratio. I've seen people go up to like 4 or 5. That would just be like hitting the limiter every gear straight away almost. It's going to be interesting to pop it in and take for a test drive to see how much difference it's made. But I think going from the 3.7 to the 3.9, it changed the wheel speed like 10 kilometers or so. So going from the 3.7 to a 4.1 should be like 20 kilometers difference. Because I think before I used to hit like 120 k's in second gear, and then with the 3.9 I was hitting 110 I think on the limiter. So theoretically this should be 100, all going well. And third gear should be like 170 with this 4.1. So still plenty of wheel speed for the tracks we've got anyway. But anyway, that was heaps easy. So once it's all confirmed it's good, it's just a matter of taking that diff back out, putting this one back in and going for a test drive. Alright, so time to chuck this thing in now. I went over it with the DTI and everything, checked the pattern, all seems good to go. If it's not, I'll soon know about it, because a diff that's done incorrectly makes a hell of a noise and it whines like crazy. So I've just popped this thing up in the air. Times like this it would be bloody good to have slip wheel stands, but someone went to Matsuri and forgot to bring ours back. Fortunately, I'm having a hard time trying to get some axle stands to even fit under there. It's like the bloody 10th time or something I've pulled diffs in and out of this thing, but good thing it's not too difficult. Meanwhile, down here, I'm trying to make one turbo out of two. Since these housings were welded, the actuator was welded for my external gate, I'm having to swap this exhaust housing onto this good turbo, because this one's blowing. This one's good. Good housing, bad housing that came off. Slap it together, sell it. Good. Alright, so before I went for a test drive with a new diff, and holy shit, it's such a difference and it goes absolutely insane now. If you got me on Instagram, you would have seen it. I'm not going to put the clips in this video, but she was nutty as, and it had a boost leak. It was only running like 10 pound, where before it was like 14 pound. And I still want to put it up a little bit because I think it's got a bit more in it, to like 16 or something. Stoked. Diff was completely silent, nothing wrong with it at all. So basically I didn't have to do anything to the diff. Like I said, if you're using the same like center with the same housing, you generally get away with it. I still checked everything anyway, because if I didn't, it's YouTube. People would have moaned that it wasn't done right. That done out of the way, stoked. So now I'm just working on the paint stuff, starting to prep. I got a new color that looks very, very good, and I think it's going to suit it, so you have to wait and see that. But over here, Josh is still working on his engine. He's been he's actually done quite a few things. He got this Franklin Engineering head drain on here, routed down there, so that should help his issue a little bit, all going well. And he's got the bow housing back on, so he just needs to put the new release bearing in, which he's doing now, reshim it and all that stuff, and sort his pedal stop out, because I think that's what stuffed the last one. The pedal was actually traveling too far. So yeah, there's a few other things he had to sort out once he pulled it apart, a few other things that just needed fixing.
Bolts in the block sort of thing, and
just cross-threaded.
Push the clutch in, it would like separate at the bow housing, which probably isn't ideal for the release bearing and everything else. The clutch, all the fingers are like worn on the piss, the fingers of the clutch, so it's probably because as you're pushing the clutch and it was opening it up, which
not good.
So now I've actually helicoiled the block, so I've like put a thread insert into the block, so a bit RFB because it's imperial, not metric, but it's better than what it was. So
yeah, if it works, then it's all that matters really.
Yeah, and I've done this a different way. Most the kit actually comes with a plug you weld into the sump. I've actually drilled and tapped my block, and the reason why I've done that is because I need the return to be higher than the level of the oil in the sump. So it's actually acting as a vent rather than a head drain. So it's kind of doing not what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a head drain, but this is actually acting as a crankcase breather to help get the crankcase pressure below, you know, a level where the oil from the turbo drain can actually get back into the sump. So hopefully it works. It's sort of a band-aid fix, I guess, for the blow-by issue, but I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then oh well, it needs a rebuild.
Well, that's just it. Pretty much ready to put it back in, but as per normal, it's past 6 o'clock, so we can't make noise, so we can't... What are we trying to do? Oh, we gotta grind.
Another thing that's been pissing me off, so whenever I'd accelerate, the whole car, like the whole motor would bloody, like, would flex on the piss, and that's because the stud inside the engine mount is like, these studs are like a part of the engine mount, and it's come loose, so you can't tighten that anymore, it just spins. So that's as tight as it was. So whenever you'd rev, the whole engine would like hoist over. I've got an engine belt, which is mint, but of course I can't cut the gas axis off because we can't make noise. So we're kind of buggered to put it in tonight, but no, tomorrow.
So yeah, basically he's been running like 1.5 engine mount. It's the whole time.
And the trans was just floating too, like the same thing, sort of style. So hopefully with a bit more bolts here and there, it's going to be a bit better now.
Slowly ticking all the stuff off the list, just trying to get it up to scratch. But yeah, he's got about 2 or 3 days to get it all finished before drift antics. So cutting it fine, but I think that's going to finish up this video. I'm not sure what's going to be the next one. Oh, I'll be getting the Evo in the next one, and then it'll be drift antics, I suppose. So look forward to it. I don't know what this video was like, if it was interesting or not, but I guess I'll just film something rather than nothing. So hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like if you want to, and subscribe, and see you in the next one.